Hola estudiantes, hoy empezamos capítulo 2. I hope that you all had a wonderful break yesterday and that you're ready to jump right in this week and start chapter 2. Capítulo 2 empieza en página 24 en la universidad. Es la coautora para este capítulo tiene información sobre los Estados Unidos de América. Hay 310 millones de habitantes en los Estados Unidos. Hay más de 50 millones de personas de origen hispano. Es el cuarto país del mundo por número de hispanohablantes en todo el territorio estadounidense, especialmente en el sureste. Hay lugares con nombres en español. This is very true in Texas. I'm not so sure about Oklahoma, but there are tons of places in Texas that have Spanish names. Some have maintained the Spanish pronunciation, and some have not. The 15 and 1600s was a time of intense Spanish exploration in many parts of what is now the U.S., and this happened long before the arrival of the Pilgrims and the British, and this was also before American independence in 1776. When the U.S. was declared independent in 1776, over what is half now the United States was controlled by Spain at that time. There were a lot of Spanish missions in Arizona and California. The war with Mexico in 1846 to 1848 ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, in which parts of what is now the American South and Southwest were ceded to the U.S. by the Mexican government. And the Spanish-American War was in 1898, and as a result of that war, the Puerto Rico became a U.S. territory. So these are some interesting things about the history of Spain and Mexico in the U.S. Vamos al vocabulario en página 26. Este capítulo tiene vocabulario sobre sobre la universidad. Hay vocabulario en el salón de clase, lugares, personas, objetos. This is vocabulary that you will need to know. As you memorize the vocabulary, just memorize if it has L or la in front. You don't worry about why, just memorize the article with the word. It will come in handy later, I promise. Así se dice en página 27, tiene otras palabras para cosas. El bolígrafo puede ser la pluma, el birome, el esfero. Hay otras palabras para el pizarrón, el salón de clase, el escritorio. You might have learned some of these words differently in the past, but what is in the book is what we're going to learn. Así se dice is just for your information to benefit you as you read and learn about the Spanish culture. Vamos a página 28. Hay más vocabulario en página 28, las materias. These are things that you study. There are some cognates here, and you probably recognize a lot of them. La nota cultural sobre las universidades en el mundo hispano es importante leer. En página 29, recuerda usted, in chapter 1, we used a number of interrogative words to get information. Como, donde, quién, qué, y quién. You know what those words mean in the following sentences. You will notice in Spanish, and this is something I try to work on, so forgive me if it's not perfect. Whenever you have a question in Spanish that begins with an interrogative word, the voice falls at the end of the question, ¿Qué hora es? ¿Cómo es usted? Versus if it's just a question that begins with a verb. ¿Estudias? Your intonation rises at the end. This is not something that's intuitive for non-native speakers, and it's something we have to work on, myself included. Página 30 tiene una nota comunicativa sobre las palabras interrogativas. We use que to mean what when we are asking for a definition or an explanation. You use cuál to mean what in all other circumstances. So we'll learn more about the difference between these words in Chapter 9 towards the end of the semester. But this is just so you can kind of see the difference as it's presented to you. ¿Qué es un hospital? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Cuál es la capital de Colombia? ¿Cuál es tu materia favorita? And then we also see cuándo, which would be when, and cuánto, or cuánta, or cuántos, or cuántas, which means how many or how much. The C on page 30 in Página 30 is really good to practice. I think it is assigned. I'll have to double check that. I think actually let's just go ahead and assign it. Practice C, intercambios, in page 30. Go ahead and answer these questions in a complete sentence, and that will be the homework. That will be for today. También hay una nota sobre la pronunciación, sobre diptongos. So diphthongs are when two weak vowels, I and U, are combined together, or when a weak vowel, I or U, is combined with a strong vowel, A, E, or O. A diphthong is one sound, it's one syllable. Luis, siete, cuaderno. If the sounds are two different ones, there's going to be an accent over it. So adios. It's not adios, it's adios. It's two sounds instead of one sound together. The letter Y is pronounced like the letter I when standing alone. Or when it ends with the word I, H-A-Y or A-Y. So that is all for today. Please do see on page 30. Nos vemos mañana.